Give us a little bit of a sense of where we are now, though, with disability employment. I want to ask you a little bit about your feelings there, because to me, it's all about, there's two things: labor participation first, and then getting people employed.
Yeah, I mean, if you would, I think, talk to anyone who was involved in the ADA or the after measures of the ADA, and I know for a fact, Tom Harkin says this all the time. His biggest frustration with the ADA is that it didn't do enough to advance competitive integrated employment for persons with disabilities. And that continues to be a challenge today. And I think we're at a point where, and this has been the premise of some of my research, where, and the advocates of the ADA will say this, right? That the ADA set the floor, right? It set the minimum level of expectations. What we have to do now is go beyond that floor. And I really think that the policies are in place to go beyond the floor, but now we have to work more collaboratively across the private sector, across the investor community, to really help them understand the value proposition of hiring this very, very uniquely talented group of people who have, this is what I wrote a lot about in my book, who spend their entire lives innovating, right? So they are
Problem solving. Yeah.
Problem solving. They have incredible amounts of resilience, right? So those are all the traits you want in an employee. Those are all the traits if you're an investor and you're investing in a startup, you want, those are the people you want to invest in.
We talk about it all the time, whether it's the Randy Lewis Walgreens report or the Accenture report or disability in all of it indicates that people with disabilities are going to be some of your best employees.
Right. And too often it just, when we say that, we think about loyalty and job tenure, but it goes so much beyond that. It's the innovative spirit, as we said, the problem solving, the willingness to collaborate, the willingness to really focus on the culture of an organization. And those are all things that too often get swept under the rug. And yet those are the traits that the really advanced leading companies, the successful companies, embrace.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we need to share that value proposition more widely. And if there's anything that the book can do, case studies and disability-driven innovation, I hope it's that.
Great. Well, yeah, I really believe that we're coming back, just like the ADA, there was a large level of collaboration then, bipartisanship, and then we got away from that. I really see America as a country getting back to that. How do you feel about it?
Not quite as optimistic. What I feel is that too many people in too many organizations have gotten too caught up in all the machinations going on in Washington, D.C.
Yes.
They've gotten consumed by the craziness that is Washington, D.C. and all these executive orders.
And that government is like the source of everything.
The government is the source of everything. And look, I'll be honest, there's a lot of red and yellow warning lights flashing, right? And repealing some aspects of the interpretations of the ADA is very concerning. Having said that, what I keep telling, especially private sector organizations, is there are so many things in your control that have nothing to do with an executive order.
That's right.
For example, go out in your community and build some relationships with organizations that source disabled talent and find new pipelines of bringing more people into your job. You don't need an executive order to do that.
It's the first question I ask when I'm talking to a corporate partner is, so tell me about your relationships with the VR community or with the fill in the blank community. And if they don't have good answers, it's like,
it's hollow. Those commitments are high.
Yeah.
Have you gone through, and I had this conversation a couple of weeks ago with a client. Have you just gone through your vendor RFP process and actually looked at all the forms that they have to fill out? And do you need all of those? And when I said, are they accessible? And I don't mean like visually accessible. Of course you need that too, but
yes.
Just like,
are they usable? Is it practical in a business sense? Yeah.
Right. If you yourself filled out that form to see, is it burdensome or is it fairly straightforward? because those are the kinds of things where so many people, I don't care if you have a disability or not, get discouraged. And therefore, like your vendors tend to be the same vendors time and time again.
Right.
So there's a lot that can be done that doesn't have anything to do, again, with the craziness of what's going on in Washington, D.C., right?